Hello, children. Hope all of you are fine. In my previous video, I had discussed chapter number 1 of macroeconomics, and we had discussed about the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. In this part of video, we will be discussing about the same chapter, chapter number 1 of macroeconomics, and here we will be discussing about the scope and significance of macroeconomics. Let us take first the scope of macroeconomics. First thing is that the macroeconomics studies the national income. In macroeconomics, we study the GDP and GNP, domestic income as well as national income. So here we study about how the GDP and GNP is calculated. This is the most important part of the component of the macroeconomics. Secondly, we study about the theory of employment. Actually, in 1926, there was a Great Depression position. Great Depression position all over the world means the aggregate demand for all the goods and services had fallen all around the world to the minimum level. So at that time, Professor J.M. Keynes had written a book that is the theory of employment, interest and output, and this book was published in 1936. He discussed all the things, the reasons for how the economy goes at the level of the underemployment or overemployment, what are the reasons and how these situations may be eliminated, corrected. Thirdly, in macroeconomics, we study the theory of money. In theory of money, we know there are two important banks. One is central bank, and other are the commercial banks. In macroeconomics, we study how the commercial banks create creation in the economy. And regarding the central bank, as the central bank is the apex bank of the economy system, central bank, how it controls the money supply all over the country, how it regulates the banks, all other banks. Fourthly, we study about the general price level in the economy. Same thing as I told just now. In macroeconomics, we study the situations of inflationary gap and deflationary gap. Means when aggregate demand is more than what it should be for the full employment level, and when the aggregate demand is less than the aggregate supply, what should be at the full employment level. How these two situations are corrected, all these things are to be studied in macroeconomics. Fifth point, role of government. The government also affects the economy through the ways of imposing taxes and giving the subsidies. In macroeconomics, we study this point also at a large, how the government tries to achieve the equilibrium level to correct the deflationary position or inflationary position, and also the main aim of equitable distribution of income all over the country. And lastly, in macroeconomics, we study about the exchange rate also. Exchange rate means measuring the value of one currency in terms of the currencies of all other countries. In macroeconomics, we study how the exchange rate between the domestic currency and the other currencies of other world, that is determined. Along with it, as you know that we are having the export and import of visible goods and invisible goods also. In macroeconomics, we study how this balance is to be brought in balance of payment. This is called the balance of payment, as we are importing many invisible items and visible items, and also some other capital from other countries and to other countries. So all these are the points which explain the scope of the macroeconomics. Now we talk about the significance of macroeconomics. Significance means importance of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is very important, as it is in macroeconomics we study about the national income, as I told in the first part of this video. And this this national income is derived from the income generated by agriculture sector, industrial sector, and service sector. So it is, macroeconomics is a study at a large. All the three sectors are studied in this macroeconomics. Also, we study about the unemployment and budget, government budget, etc. In macroeconomics, macroeconomics helps us to analyze our situation. We can compare our present situation with the previous year's situation. Also, we can compare our situation, our development, with the development of the other countries of the rest of the world. When we see that how far behind we are from other countries, then we try to find out the reasons. So in macroeconomics, first we analyze our situation, we analyze other countries' situation, we find out the reasons why we are staying back, and then we try to find out the remedies to cover that gap. So in macroeconomics is the roadmap of the growth and development. Here we make the policies, for the development, we make the policies to bring the equal distribution of income and wealth, etc. Just now, as I told you, in the scope of macroeconomics, here macroeconomics is very important, because here we study those tools by which we can remove the deflationary situation and inflationary situation, and we can bring back the economy on the path of the equilibrium. We also study about the balance of payment. Just now I told you that we study the trade, export and import from other countries and to other countries. How much difference is there? What is current situation? What was the previous situation in previous years? So all these things show that how much macroeconomics is important. Along with that, we also study the problems of poverty and unemployment, and also the environment pollution also. These things have been the great issues which we had set the rules during the planning period. Removing the poverty and environmental issues, reducing the environmental issues, these issues had been very important key goals during the planning period. So all these things are the scope and the significance of macroeconomics. In next video, we will start next chapter. Till then, goodbye.